From Waterdeep to Icewind Dale, unlikely friends fight tooth and scale. A little faith, a lot of rage, to bring the summer back again. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Bonus action. Heroes, tortured and trapped within the mist, hunted by horrors from out the abyss. We've seen friends fall, but must endure, survive to see the sun once more. Now roll the dice, see how they fall, don't waste your action. Heroes. Hello, and shut up, Tom. Welcome to Bonus Action. I thought we'd get it out the way.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bonus Action Heroes. Is this the first stream back in the new year of a game?
Is it?
I think it
Yeah.
is.
It could be, yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
And it's a weird one because this is our Icewind Dale epilogue. Call me sentimental, but this is the game that started it all around, what was it, sort of mid 2020?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was actually, it's been 2 campaigns bolted together,
Waterdeep and
beginning
Icewind
with
Dale.
Dragon Heist and
Yeah.
keeping the party together and heading up to Icewind Dale. Yeah.
And then Hazel and
Sad
Cole and
times.
Jim joined our rank.
They did.
We're sorry.
It made it
Me and
better.
V are the only ones from the original group, right?
Yeah.
The very first original Session Zero
That's
group.
so mean to scout Matt, who came in on the third one.
Nah, it's too late.
Everyone knows I'm the best one, so it's fine. You two
Yes,
can have
you
that.
came very quickly, and I think you made ice cream on the first or second session. You were in.
Really? Ice cream
Which
was
is
quite early on, which is where the logo comes from.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that was one of the first few sessions that you were in. Yeah. Remember that.
And what session did you come up with? Light cream but creamier, which doesn't make sense because we never streamed those early games.
It was the same. I think it was the same one the first time we made ice cream, and then we're telling someone about it. So it must have been that or the next session.
Trying to explain what ice cream is like to somebody who's no idea of the concept of ice cream.
Yeah, I'd tried to explain it as someone who has only just experienced it as well. It was good. It was ridiculous, but it was good.
My thought was, what I wanted to say, it's like cream but colder, which would make some sense. But instead I said it's like cream but creamier.
I literally had a T-shirt designed with like cream but creamier on, but I just thought no one would know what it meant. You wouldn't wear it in public. You'd be too afraid.
I mean, another good T-shirt option is "Make Kellenvor smooth your passage." That's another good one.
Oh yes,
that came from that campaign.
Yeah.
Did we start streaming when was our first stream when Hazel joined? I have a vague memory of you running behind us as like a snow ferret or something.
Yeah.
It was straight after the Tox Goblin massacre.
Yeah.
To be fair, Tok didn't hit any goblins. He missed every javelin throw. So I just looked scary, but didn't do much.
Hey,
story of my life.
You've got the mens rea. It's the access rea that we're missing, but the intent, the action was there as well. It was just no. You murdered my family.
Yeah, but it all worked out well.
I think it was actually Nick that did that.
Yeah,
we know it was Nick, but we expect it to be Nick.
I mean, he is the best that is at what he does.
You did, but everyone else did not know that at the time my character was evil, because my character was not evil in Waterdeep. He was really sweet. He was kind of he was a bard at the time. And,
he was a chaos monkey.
Yes.
It's before he got tentacle love.
Yes, and I had all the vicious mockery. I had like pre-written down vicious mockery lines, and I would just throw those in every time I cast a spell. The only spell I had that was useful. and then I became evil, but like nobody else knew. But then you only made me evil, but everyone else thought I was good. So you picked it up before they did, I think.
Mm.
And you killed people. Like,
Yes.
Are we the
how
bad
badly?
guys?
like what happened when we got to the
We-
the Durgar fortress?
We were all trying to
Oh,
negotiate, and even just attacked everybody. And we're like, "Oh, we're negotiating."
Again, you might think that was a really genius role playing move. What happened was, as a player, I had misunderstood what the point of the negotiation was, and I thought we had planned to attack if things got hostile. So,
And you made things hostile. That's the
well, yeah.
So I thought this was going to be a really wholesome, and then 5 years later, we met up once again, the Breakfast Club. But it's going to be an episode of Jeremy Kyle by the sounds of
Yeah.
it.
Just process
You killed
trauma.
my mother.
Campaign trauma. We just process. It's still right next to my PC every day. It's still the little mini that Steve gave
Oh,
me.
yeah,
And
cool.
Yeah.
a little ice cream on the spell book.
He did. You painted the ice cream on the spellbook. Yeah, I couldn't believe that.
It's
Um,
under my monitor.
But during the course, if it doesn't fit into the RP of whatever we're doing, if there's any things like threads that we started but never got a chance to follow up, if you want to ask about those, I mean, there's no secrets now. So if you want to ask about anything that wasn't fully revealed or the intention of certain characters wasn't clear, then, and you can remember that far back, then by all means ask and we can discuss.
Awesome.
So I think we said what we were going to do was fast forward, dream sequence, 5 years time, everyone opens up an envelope that looks like something and reads like something. Cass?
Yes, off the cuff. I remember how to do this. It's not been weeks. You will get an envelope. It will probably have some lovely calligraphy on it with your name and your address, and inside will be a piece of paper, and on one side is a little like watercolor painting of a sun and some what's the elk tribe symbol?
It was antlers.
And some antlers through the middle of it, and then if you turn it round, you will get something that goes along the lines of, "You are enthusiastically invited to the hand-fasting ceremony of Tok Ixif and Cassandra Faris on blah 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 at the Spires of the Morning in Waterdeep." And then on Eris's there'll be a little PS, "Will you be my flower girl?"
Brilliant.
That's probably a yes.
Now, there is an assumption that you all accept and spend the next few weeks preparing and traveling. So where's the invite to?
Spires of the Morning, Waterdeep.
Waterdeep.
Oh, what a thing. Okay.
So you make your preparations and
In the middle of summer.
yeah.
Oh no, it's so warm in summer.
We've talked
Socks
about
really
this.
miserable.
We have, yeah, just in shorts again.
Constantly eating
Like
ice
the
cream.
early days in shorts eating ice cream.
And yeah, who would be first to arrive? I guess Threadreader and Eris would probably arrive together. How do you arrive?
Well, I mean, we could maybe take some shortcuts on the way if there's any teleport towers nearby. Someone at Candlekeep might be able to help us.
There would be one probably to the Black Tower in Waterdeep, the Mage's Tower.
If I've visited them and kind of know the area, if I can find a tree or something big enough we can transport by a plant.
Oh, can we have a tree in our back garden?
Oh, you've got a house. Oh yeah, you have got a house. Trollskull Manor, of course. Yeah, there's trees.
But probably not the first time we've been to visit them.
No, it's probably not the first time.
Eris may have helped it grow a bit quicker.
Oh yeah. There's also
Yeah, it's only 6 weeks old.
Near the school that I've been going to, there's this weird little hut. So the invite would have been sent to like the hut just round the corner from the big tree next to. Um, and if you go up to the hut, you have to crouch down to get in, even if you're of normal height. So it's terrible for Fred Reader. Probably got a bad back by this point. And she set up a little florist where she works when she's just chilling. It's a hobby. So I imagine that for like the week waiting, there's just flowers everywhere. Everything is just covered in flowers. She's just wherever she goes, flower here, flower there, flower here.
Experimenting in flower colours before we head on.
Trying all of the different bouquets, like getting really experimental. Tries to make a sunflower that looks even more like a sun.
Okay,
and then
cool.
there's snowdrops, and trying to find the right kind of theme in. She maybe doesn't understand what a flower girl is, and thinks it's just a girl who like
Makes the flowers.
That's
Yeah.
what I was. That's why we're asking the druid. But
But she's probably gone a little bit too flower heavy on it.
Very good.
There's been complaints.
So are you arriving together by tree?
Yeah.
If you arrive in our back garden, 3 children that you have probably met at this point, called Nat, Jenks, and Squidly, will probably be the first to run out and greet you. They are our adopted children from Waterdeep.
One of them a tiefling.
Yeah, and one of them is deaf. Yeah, one of them's deaf, so they talk in sign language a lot.
Love sign language.
I've probably learned that. We've been in visit before. I would have learned sign language, and I will have a couple of scrolls in my back pocket, which I'd hand out to the kids with things like thaumaturgy and stuff like that, so they can play practical jokes.
They were all 9, 10 years old when you first met them. 5 years on, they're now sulky
teenagers.
Yeah.
So unfair.
You are not my real parents. This is true.
I sneak a toad into Gent's back pocket.
A sneaker what?
Toad.
A toad. Okay.
I'm trying to remember their personalities. One of them did want to be a wizard.
Yeah.
One of them wanted to be a like a ranger. They always had a little bow and arrow.
I've posted it into the chat. So so Nat, had the toy sword. Jenks had a stuffed owl bear, familiar. So he wanted to be the wizard, and Squidly had an eye patch and a bow. So I think he wanted to be either the rogue or the ranger or something.
I imagine he doesn't wear an eye patch now. Now he's a teenager. He's just grown an emo fringe.
Yeah, he doesn't need the eye patch anymore.
And although they're not very enthusiastic about it, I will have set up for them to... We had an orphanage, and basically I wanted these kids... Well, I wanted to, with them, start a club that's basically Scouts, where they can sort of take a lead in teaching other kids survival skills. So there will be basic self-defense and, like, here's how you build a fire, and maybe they'll even go on little excursions.
Cool. Yeah. Who else would arrive? Locke.
Okay, you're going with me then. Let's go with that. So over the years, you would have been getting letters describing my current name and location/address, maybe a vague description of what I look like. There have been a few that were from Chold, but the latest one is actually from Icewind Dale, and it's in a prison. And my current name is Midas, and I am a dwarf. So that's where your letter would find me. And as soon as Locke receives the letter, just reading through and be like, All right, I guess change of plans and over the next 3 days escapes imprisonment and starts traveling south, changes identity again, and shows up over the next week. He doesn't actually show up on his own. What you might have noticed is a couple of goblins wandering outside the mansion, kind of scouting the location before he arrives. And when he arrives, there's two people behind him. One of them would have been an elf, the other one would have been a dwarf, kind of acting like guards, and they'll wait outside the house. And as he walks in, he'll put up a big smile and just wave hello to everyone. And you might have noticed he's missing his left hand. It's been replaced by a mechanical contraption. And he's also got a big scar on his right eye, as well as some weird snake bites around his neck.
I will do that horrible, musical theatre. Oh my god, hi! Happy hello. Followed by a invite your friends in.
Oh no, that's perfectly fine. I mean, I imagine this is a safe location or a trap, but I don't reckon it's a trap.
At point, Eris will have been running down the stairs. She'll realise who it is, and she will jump from a height and kind of land on Locke in like a bear hug. So the comment about being a trap,
kind of true.
That's fun though.
You might see some tentacles start popping out, and at the last minute they get retracted. Just instinctively. Oh wait! Don't do that. I could have. Oh, I almost disintegrated you. Hi. Sorry, I'm a bit jumpy.
So you had the time to tell us that you had changed your name and appearance, but not that you'd lost an arm.
Yeah, I didn't think it was as important as the rest of the stuff. I try not to include too much information, just in case the letters got stolen.
They're distinguishing features.
So this bit is real, not a shape-shifty.
No. I can't replace like a lost limb by shape-shifting. So yeah.
What
So
happened?
bad encounter with a dragon, if I remember right.
Well, there's not the white dragon.
No, they're completely different dragon. It was
You're not supposed to go after dragons by yourself.
You were always quite confident in your dragon fighting ability, to be fair.
I had company with me, and also I didn't realize there was going to be a dragon there.
Well, not the best company, and you know that they just pop out of the ground.
I mean, most of me got away, so I'll take it as an absolute
That's
win.
not good enough.
Can we do anything about it?
No, I mean, I'm quite happy with the current state of things. This has been pretty good, and kind of wiggles his mechanical fingers. Yeah, this is working quite well. Just the cost of the job, I suppose.
Is there a tentacle in there?
No, I didn't think to replace it with just a tentacle.
You're past your tentacle phase then.
No, they're still in there. It's all in there.
We'll never get rid of them.
If you could keep them in there for today, that would be very much appreciated.
No, absolutely. I'm bringing no trouble, unless trouble comes as a result of me being here. But I've made quite a few enemies over the years, and I made a lot of friends as well. It's been a busy time. I almost got I kind of got married, but then I ran away immediately afterwards, and we didn't complete the ceremony, so I don't know if that counts. But that was a bit of a mistake.
To who?
Going on? I didn't realize she was a Yonti in Chult, and I didn't realize part of the ceremony was them turning me into a Yonti as well. It was all a bit confusing, and at the last minute I just thought, it's a bit too much, and I dashed out.
Hence the bites.
Some of the bites were, yes, as a result of Chult.
I don't need to hear about why you have multiple bites.
Yeah, that was bad. But anyway, most of what I've been doing is my new business, which is trying to get criminals to turn a new leaf. We've got a international spy organization. but it's actually operating as a criminal organization. Was pretending to be a criminal organization called the Blood Coven, which you might have heard of it. It's 3 hags running it. There's no 3. I'm all 3 of those hags. So I've set that up as a way to approach criminal organizations, then work with them, and then try to get people to like change their lives, and then I get those people to change other people's lives. So it's a whole network thing.
It's
I'd really
pyramid
love
scheme.
you to tell us these things in your letters, because Spaghetti and Jorix have been searching for the leaders of Blood Coven for a really long time, and yeah, that's been a long waste of time for them.
I'm terribly sorry. Again, it's all quite convoluted. I can't keep track of it most of the time, but it's working quite well. We've actually they've gotten a lot of people to completely change their lives, and I've been really surprised by people's kindness and potential. So yeah, it's been a good go. Just a bit busy, a bit too much some of it. So quite happy to be back and to see all of you. I mean, you've barely changed in 5 years.
Half elven, I don't really.
You've been very busy.
You have, and I thought I'd been busy.
I'm definitely going grayer, but you probably can't see it.
What have you been doing then? The last few years. 5? I think it's 5.
Wait, first, are your friends outside coming to the ceremony? Do I need to put 2 + 1?
No. Don't worry. They'll just stay outside.
I'm gonna feed
And one
them
of
if they need feeding.
They'll happily have some food, but they're gonna stay outside and keep scouting just in case there's trouble.
Okay. And then she'll probably get out this. I assume you've come in the front, which means you've come in the bar.
Yes.
So I'll get a one of those horrible big wedding books from outside, from out under the bar, and write something in the back.
Wow. So this is really happening then.
It is.
Well, there's still time.
Well,
Wait.
what?
I'm joking. Obviously.
I do have some experience in the area if you want my help in an escape plan. But
Locke! Or Midas, what do you want us to call you? It gets
it'll be Locke, and he'll change into his Locke form.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Eris hugs
that's
tighter.
better.
She's still not let go of him. Eris will also, over the last few years, every now and then Locke will have the feeling that he's being watched. Eris,
Is that what it was?
yeah, Eris will have cast scrying just to make sure he's okay. There will have had to be some weird conversations where she's had to ask Fred Reader what certain things, like why adults do certain things.
Oh no!
Frederick's not entirely sure himself, but he tried to help.
Yeah, especially
And
with the mechanical hand.
10
From
schools.
what we can tell, none of it was sex.
Very had her eyes open quite a lot.
Too busy for that. Too busy.
Tentacles and prosthetic hands.
Yeah, we need some rules around what times you're allowed to scry. That's probably
You're the
something
stall of this campaign. You're the young person that's been traumatized.
He puts a sock on his aura, we know not to scry.
So pretty much she just wanted to check in, make sure he was alive and generally happy.
You would have seen him very happy a lot of the time, very stressed other times.
No, after you.
No, I insist. Go ahead.
Thread reader. I would have written this in your invitation because Summerstar. Do you have it?
I can get it. We gave it to Copper, didn't we?
God damn it.
We can go get it.
We can go get it. I mean, actually, there's a point. Did you invite Velin? Have you kept in touch with her?
She's invited.
Well, she's still up there. If we can get a message to her, maybe she can bring it with her.
The idea was, I mean, look at him. He's sweating, and that's weird on a scaly guy.
Help with that. And
It's
when I
not
remember
sweat,
why.
it's my natural dragon musk.
Mm-hmm.
Can
60% of the time, it works every time.
Yeah,
I
more like 40%.
can I just use like a frostbite or something to just kind of, I'm sure there's a better one. but
PvP.
Well, prestidigitation will do it if you've got it.
I have that, so
if I've taken a level of wizard, I've got that. Oh no.
and we can teach Jenks too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jenks must have a couple of cantrips by now.
Probably time a few, yeah. The more fun ones.
Between the three of us, we can keep top cool.
Okay.
Um,
So
fine.
is the ceremony today? Is this the morning? Is people all right, or is it in a
Can
day? Or
be.
do you have anything planned or prepared for the ceremony? Do you have some vows or anything that you want to say for that ceremony, or
Yeah,
does it happen and then you reconvene?
It's just an excuse to get everybody together. It can be today, but that means, okay, so we need Velen to arrive with the Summer Star.
She can do that. She does. She got her invitation. She doesn't arrive just with the Summer Star. She arrives with Copper and Mishan from the church in Brinshanda.
What is Copper wearing? Does he look like a teddy bear?
An Ewok.
He doesn't. He's dressed knowing that he's coming south in the summer. But if you imagine somebody that's never been on a skiing holiday, but that's got all the brand new skiing equipment, it's like that in reverse. So he's come with, like, it looks proper touristy, warm weather clothes, like neatly crisp lined like shorts that are mid-thigh length, and a vest that's tucked in and his waistband's pulled up sort of quite high.
I'm imagining Merlin from The Sword in the Stone when he goes on holiday.
I'm not sure I've seen that, but yeah, probably.
I'm imagining the flower from Discworld.
Is this where we realised that the furs he was wearing were actually just his body hair?
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
So yeah, it's been quite some time since he's been down this way. So he's trying his best to fit in. It's not working.
We are going to need to get you a coat.
I have something for Eris. Remember?
Is it a coat?
It is a coat. Remember?
Nope.
Oh, I hope we've had it. I hope I had it adjusted to the right size. Top will go out the back of the bar and we'll come back with a little tissue paper wrapped something in a thing, and he will hand it to Eris. I think
I
you
will very
really.
quickly put it on. It is not the right size.
It is the right size.
Anyway,
But it looks familiar.
He's turned the weasel into a coat.
No, yeah, that's why it fits. No, it is a like a blue. It is a blue like robe, like it's a winter coat, but it is a blue robe with fur trim at the bottom and a hood. But you can tell that it has been massively cut and slimmed down and taken in. So you remember before we went into the city, let's be honest, you pretty much wiped out the tiger tribe on your own.
no,
Well, there was
into a mammoth, and that we needed that.
You did that too. But Bjornhild got away
Yeah.
for a while.
Sorry.
This is her coat. All the bits with blood on I cut out of it. It's like new. I was very careful where I stabbed her so I didn't ruin the coat, because it's important someone as mighty as you has a trophy from a great battle. I mean, I can't sing. Cass isn't the greatest poet, but you should have songs sung about you for what you did that day. But all I can offer you is the coat.
He was
the
very
tiger.
precise with his blunt end.
Yeah, it was mostly blunt end, to be honest.
I think at that point she just like in the coat, just very carefully, just doesn't want to get anything on it, even though like she's not going, she's being very careful. Will just wander up and she'll just like hug on to you. And I think by this point she's probably finished growing, so she's slightly taller and she's already lanky for a goblin. So I think like her face will probably like hit just above your hip, and so she'll just be like at your side, and she's just going to bury her face in it. She's probably shedding a tear or two.
You're okay. You finished them. I just like cleaned up the Cass helped. We just cleaned up the one you didn't get, basically.
It's very lovely.
Sorry,
That's
I didn't want to help the elk tribe.
Well, there is good news about that. Well, I mean, I did.
Good news.
It is good news. I searched. I tried to find anyone that survived. None did. They're all dead, but Tanta and her children, and I hope they're here somewhere. They're probably outside. It's a bit small. They've taken back up the nomadic lifestyle. They're traveling again, and as I learned from you all, they are embracing people who need a family that don't have one. They are building a new tribe in honor of the elk, named after the elk, but it's something new. So
I think that's wonderful talk.
Very pleased to hear that.
I don't know if anyone has anything else, but I would like to take Eris to a surprise. Yeah, I'm going to leave everyone else back at the house. I don't know why.
we all got surprises for Eris.
I will probably take your hand and walk you down to there's a dock in Waterdeep. There's loads of and this is up to the DM, but I'm assuming it's allowed. When we get to the docks, I would like Angerjuk to be there.
Yeah. I mean, you can't go much further than the dock.
Oh, actually, I think you'll find he can, because I can polymorph him.
Exactly what I wanted.
Yeah.
Well, actually, before you do that, you find him there in the water, and he's chatting quite happily with Zelafan, the bronze dragon that you met a long time ago.
Oh, I forgot your invite.
I didn't. I even wrote it in very scruffy draconic.
Oh, I thought I might have thrown that out because I couldn't read that.
Oh, well, he got it, so he's here. That's all that matters.
He lives here. It's Waterdeep.
Oh,
Sorry. Just a domestic. That happens now.
So you find Angerjuk?
So if Frederica and I have been doing the tours with Angerjuk, you know, a couple weeks every summer. It's kind of part of our holiday from everything else. And it's also a way for us to make a little bit of money, because we've had some, we like it, we're going to continue to make money. So I think, what point of the summer is it for the wedding?
We're at like peak summer, but
it's
yeah,
flame rule.
solstice.
Flame rule, I think, is the month.
So, Tok and I talked about this a lot, and it's not ideal for him, but we're going to use the Summer Star to make it snow. And then we can do a ceremony that's sort of in the style of his tribes, but at my church at
When
a
you're warm
significant
enough and he's
time.
cool
Yeah.
enough. Okay. So in which case, then I've probably seen Ankajuk a couple of weeks ago. So I'm like, I didn't think I was going to see you for another year.
Well, of course, it's the invitation. I couldn't possibly not turn up, could I?
Oh, this is
After
the
everything we've been
best
through.
news. Cass, can he come to the ceremony?
That's why I've brought you down here. I was hoping you could help him.
I can. I mean, you've been an eagle before. You quite like being an eagle, but I think that might be a bit. Maybe something with legs would be better.
Eagles have legs.
Yeah, but the walking one. DM,
Eagles walk.
Does Angajuk's the enchantment that he has that lets him speak, does that carry over if he's polymorph?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's part of what it's to do with the shift that structure as well, isn't it, or something like that?
We'll say that it does, just for
Okay.
simplicity.
Yeah, because if the target's gear melds into the new form, it can't activate, use, or wield, but it's not an activated thing. It's a constant thing, isn't it? It's like a passive.
What is?
The whatever it is that makes Angajuk be able to
Awakened, yeah.
Okay. So Cass, how big are the entryways?
Well, we were going to do it just outside the spires, so you don't need to worry about
Like an
size.
elk.
Because Tanta's presiding and Tanta can't fit through the doors.
She's quite big. She makes Threadreader look like you.
Okay, but would you want Angajuk to be an elk? Angajuk wants to be an elk.
That would be very fitting.
Yeah, we've not done elk before.
Can I be an elk later? Because that sounds pretty good.
If you'd like to be an elk, I can make
just for a bit.
I think we've done eagle, we've done polar bear, we've done mammoth.
Mammoth?
I think.
Yeah, the nose thing with the mammoth is weird.
I think it's the idea of Angajuk having hair. It just seems different.
Could you make him a small mammoth? Because then he would be able to help himself to the buffet.
Well, if I make him an elk and it's outside, I think he'll be okay. But yeah, we might need bigger plates for him.
Smaller than he would need right now.
It depends on when the ceremony is, but I might have to come back and get Angajuk later just for.
How long is it?
I don't know when it is.
An hour. So I'd have to.
Okay, we might have to come back later.
Okay.
I assume we'll do some preparations. I'll ask you to just make everything look. Once the snow's up, do some flowers.
Oh, there's already flowers all over the house as soon as she got there. The reason she was on the stairs when Locke came in is because she was putting garlands down the banister.
Okay. We need some actually at the place, but okay. We're coming back here for drinks after.
There's flowers in your hair. You don't know when they got there. They're just there now.
There's so much going on in my hair today, and I hate it.
Some of them disappear.
No, not that. Just
the daisies just wilt.
There's just look, it's all glittery because my mum put these little suns in, and yeah. And I'm not used to having my hair down. It's.
Let me tie it up. It's your day.
Just thought we'd do something different.
My
mum thought we'd do something different.
I like it down.
You can have it half up. You can have it half down.
Yeah, one side down, one side up.
That's not no.
No. I'm gonna leave mine the same.
We'll go get dressed. You can get your coat. I can get my dress. We can work out what to do with my hair. Then we'll come get Angerjack and meet you at the spires.
Do that. That's a plan.
Really need to make sure he doesn't turn back into a sperm whale in the middle of the city. That probably would wear out our welcome here.
I should have enough. Once we know it's time, I should have enough spell slots to keep it going for a good 3, 4, maybe even 5 hours.
Shall I go buy a water clock so that we can time this?
I know how time works, Talk.
I know how it works. I'm just not very good at keeping track of it. The water clock apparently is almost always right.
Well, the stars are always right.
Daytime.
Yeah. The star.
Druid stuff.
Know this
Is
by
it?
now. Yeah, I gave you a book all about it.
He didn't read that.
I like the middle bit with the drawings in.
He can't read.
Like, it was 90% pictures.
It popped up and everything.
Most of the pictures were just dots, like lots of dots, and then
And did you look
like
at
a
them
join
long
the
enough
dots.
until they had just dots?
Well, some
You've
yeah,
got to
because it was.
travel really fast to actually see what they're like. So it's they start really small and then they get bigger, and then you're in, and then you're with the stars.
There was some of the pages the dots weren't joined up, so I did join them up for you.
I thought that was squiddly.
I'm just next time I have a book, I'll give it to Jax. And then he can read it to you.
So you have this conversation back and forth on the way back to the manor. And then you make your preparations, I guess, for the day, unless anybody has anything else to do.
Tom will be back in a moment. His internet appears to have just dropped out.
Okie dokie.
Locke will try to at some point get V and not V, Chalk and Cass together and speak to them in private if there is any opportunity.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
Yeah, we can just go upstairs from the bar.
I just want to take a moment and oh gosh, I've been preparing for this for years and now it's a bit difficult. I just wanted to thank you. When this happened to me and he moved something with his mind, if it had been anyone else, they would have either killed me or they would have let me go on to wipe out the entirety of Icewind Dale, and that creature would have left me with blood on my hands and probably eaten me out from the inside. So I just want to say thank you for helping me not stay that way forever. And you'll see he's kind of getting teared up. I don't think days gone by in the past few years that I've not thanked you in my mind, but I don't think I've done nearly enough to actually thank you. So it's really nice to be here and be myself, because when we were in Icewind Dale and after the worm came out and everything, I just I thought I'd die up there fighting the queen. I was intending to do a big sacrifice just to get rid of myself.
Has Nick's audio broken up for everyone else as well?
Yeah, he just cut out.
Okay.
You still there, Nick?
Yeah. Hello?
There you go. It was a bit crackly, but it's back.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. What was the last thing you heard?
Big sacrifice. You were going to make a big sacrifice.
You were going to make a
Yes.
big sacrifice.
yes, I was just gonna make a big sacrifice, and yeah, just when we're stuck down that cave, I never thought I would see Waterdeep again, or you in Waterdeep. Never mind, happy and so anyway, I would just like to thank both of you, and then he'll kind of hunch in for a hug, hesitantly.
I will probably
Pick him
also
up.
start tearing up. And oh, you pick him up. I guess when I go to hug, I hug the legs.
Okay, all right, okay. Yes, this as
We came
uncomfortable as
so
I thought it would be.
close to killing you.
I did think
You
about
did.
it. I did think
Thank
about it,
you.
but I didn't.
Thank you. That
We need
was well good of you. Yeah.
you need to get his arm back because he's rubbish at hugging with one arm. No offense, and I'll put him
He
back
was
down.
rubbish at hugging back then
That
too.
was-
He's not a hugger. Sorry, I shouldn't have hugged you.
You
No,
never know when a tentacle's gonna pop out.
no, it's fine. I'm in 85% control of it on a good day when I'm
Not bad.
sober.
Is it a good day?
To be fair, that's
Yeah,
better than
this is a great day.
I'd love to say it's not a free bar, but it is. You do own this tavern as well.
Oh, you should. You've not been here for a while. I mean,
Oh,
it's looking good, right? I mean, it's made good money.
yeah. Do you owe me money?
Oh well, that wasn't what I was getting at. What I was going to get at was like your room is still there.
The orphanage costs a lot of money to, but I mean, yeah, we franchised the ice cream, so I guess you should get a cut.
Because the percentages, and some of us have died or left, so it's like, who gets those shares? I suppose.
We'll hash it out. You're staying past today, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll hash it out tomorrow.
Okay. Cool.
Because now I'm
Okay.
crying and I need to go put makeup on.
Sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted. I just owe a lot of money to a lot of people. So this, yeah, sure, we'll hash it out later. You just can't. The rest of the day, you just be looking around, examining things like,
Seriously, go and have a look at your room. We had it done, so you can stay there.
Okay. Will that look in particular way?
This is giving me a look. I'm like, yeah, I wasn't supposed to do it, but
Okay.
I did it anyway. I'm glad you're here. I hear you've been doing a lot of good, so I'm proud of you for what it's worth.
Thank you. I'm trying to think. I've seen so many people rehabilitated, and yeah, I guess I wouldn't have even thought to do this if it wasn't for you talking, Cass, of course. So.
None of us might be here if it wasn't for each other. So that's the way friendship works. We make mistakes. We do things we regret over and over again for quite a few years, and then we figure it out eventually because our brains take a long time to join the dots. Like in Eris's book, it did take me quite a long time.
No, that's fair. Okay, yes, I'll should get on with the preparations. You're getting married, man. That's incredible. I'll try not to get too excited because I can't kill people with one word now, so I'll have to keep my wits about me. It's never happened,
Shit.
but I'm always worried it could happen. But it's only a creature's weak, so I think you're too steady.
Do you know what? It's fine. You remember when like we killed the Frost Maiden, and I remember sitting and having a conversation with Cass and saying, "Oh, I'm just tired from fighting, and I don't want any more trouble. I don't want any more blood." How long did I last?
4 days, Doc.
Yeah, 4 days. So, I mean, a bit of a fight's okay, as long as you don't kill any guests or anything.
No,
Please
no
don't kill any
fighting.
guests.
Promise. No.
If you want to say
no,
thank you, all you have to do is not kill any guests.
No. no guests dying. No, I promise.
Yeah, guests are people
on
we like.
purpose.
Unless they attack us. No, whenever we give you a grey area, that don't kill any guests.
Okay, sure.
Oh, did you
So-
want to play a song?
Oh God, I've not played. Yeah, I could try. Uh,
Renashi's Jam?
yeah, I can write you one. Yes,
Yeah, weren't you a bard once?
yeah, yeah. Do you have like an instrument, or I can get one of my hench people to fetch one.
Did you stop playing because in the north when it's cold, does it affect the like lute strings or something? Is it?
No, I just I forgot I was able to.
Yeah, I
You
know what
collect a
that
lot of
feels
skills
like.
over the years.
Yeah, I know what forgetting things you can do is like. Yeah, happens to me.
Yes. Right. I once stopped time and then I forgot, and then it only unstopped when I was too far. Anyway, another stories. Let's get the party going, shall we?
So Locke shuffles awkwardly back out the room, leaves everyone to their preparations, and some time goes by, and those that prepare and get themselves dressed and have some pre-drinks, etc. They all meet at the spires at the allotted time, and you spot Velin and Copper activates the Summer Star, and just over the spires themselves, it just begins to gently snow. And the floor is cold enough just to get a nice crisp, ever such a slightly thin layer of snow. And outside of that area, the summer sun just melts it away. But it's quite refreshing, Tok, and everybody is aware that this was the plan and has dressed accordingly, so that in sort of, I wouldn't say full cold weather like expedition, but they've got like a nice formal scarf and perhaps hat and gloves for a mild southern winter, I guess.
Yeah, and
They're
Tok's
dressed
wearing
appropriately.
summer clothes.
Yeah,
Copper's shivering.
yeah.
Aw. That coat's really warm, Eris. That's a queen's coat. Just saying.
Goblin coat now.
Yeah, it's a goblin queen's coat.
What has Eris done with the flowers and the message in chat?
So, what is the actual layout of where this is taking place?
I assume there's some steps leading up to the spires, because the spires are quite a big central point of Waterdeep.
Mm.
So I guess it looks quite grandiose.
Okay, and then what's are we standing? Are we seated? Is there an arch?
Standing at the bottom of the steps, and the ceremony happens.
So are people just looking up?
Yeah.
Or do
Oh,
you have
thank
people
goodness.
there with you? Oh, there we go.
Tanta will be there. Probably.
Yeah,
I
she
remember
is
the
a
name of Dawnmaster. Blah blah.
Dawnmaster blah blah.
Issachar Stonewell is there.
That's him. Basically my father. Second father.
Leonora is there.
Leonora is there. That's my mum.
Yeah,
And you will be up there, Eris.
Yeah,
Speaker Trovis turns up. He is on a cane now. He's still off the booze. You also see Duvessa Shane from Bryn Shander. The elk form of Angerjuk trots up. Its head on a swivel, just taking everything in. Its legs a little bit shaky, but loving it.
Oh, like a
Wow, it's
newborn.
Yeah,
like a newborn, fully grown elk.
yeah. You see Bonnie Durnan from the Yawning Portal. You see Floon, Blagmar, and Renee and Neverember.
Are they
And Volo. Absolutely smashed. And Volo.
It hasn't even started yet. Though.
Smashed. Yeah, yeah. You also see Mert and Laeral Silverhand.
Wow, celebrity wedding.
Yeah. They're trying not to overshadow it and sort of staying out the way a little bit, but they're trying to pay their respects. And
We'll
the Black
probably
Staff.
scout at Cast. Do we know them?
Yeah, we that friends of the
Do they know,
family.
do they know us?
Do you
Sorry.
remember when we? It's not a stupid question. It was a really long time ago. Remember when we saved Waterdeep
Which time?
the very first time?
Yeah.
Do you remember when we went up to the big? I don't want to say palace, but
Palace.
all the palace, and we met the woman in the very regal garb, and she gave us a large portion of the money that we retrieved.
She's the open lord of Waterdeep.
I was a bit focused on the large pile of money, if I'm honest. That's probably why I'm not remembering. It was a massive pile of money.
You know how Speaker Trovus runs
what do I
Caer
call them?
Dineval? She runs Waterdeep.
Okay, so how do I address them so that they don't know that I've forgotten who they are?
Open Lord.
Open Lord. Just that.
Silverhand. And then maybe she'll say, "Oh, call me Laurel because we're friends."
Yeah, we are. And yes, we're great friends.
It's
is
more
how
of a
I
political
respond.
relationship, I suppose.
I'll leave it to you. I'll just stay quiet.
She let us make it snow for a little bit today. You can't just do this, or
That was
fall over and.
That was the Alan Partridge gif personified. He went. She let us let it snow. Brilliant.
That's the most important thing to take away, I suppose. Say
Okay.
thank you for letting us have snow.
So, open Silverhand. Thanks for the snow.
Yeah.
Okay.
You do also spot flitting from group to group Esvel Rosnar, looking for Locke, suspecting that he might turn up. But you notice Locke 1, 2, 3 steps ahead of it all day through the day, taking on various forms to avoid her completely.
Is that the assassin?
Yeah.
Did we invite her? I don't think we invited her.
Yes. Yes.
We wouldn't have
depends on-
invited her if we knew Locke was coming.
She seems the kind of person that would figure it out anyway.
Oh, is she going to cause drama? You know what? I'm going to go up to one of Locke's henchmen at one point and just keep an eye on her.
It's not a hand fasting if there's not a bit of drama and a small fight with no fatalities. We agreed.
I mean, I'm fully expecting. We have enough enemies. Mum said I shouldn't wear a breastplate over this dress, but if anyone's going to attack me, it's here.
It wouldn't look right without a breastplate.
No, it doesn't feel right.
No.
It's weird without my shield. What do I do with my hand?
Yeah, at some point.
Maybe get a two-handed hammer, then you don't need to worry about the shield. That's what I do.
Are you going to go up there with your hammer?
No, halberd, obviously.
Yeah.
As. And Eris, who's kind of been stood behind you this whole time, will just kind of reach out, and she's holding a little bouquet of daisies. You're supposed to hold these with your hands.
Thank you.
And I'll deal with the other flowers as well. You'll have all the flowers.
They're really beautiful. Thank you. I'm so relieved I have something to do with my hands. Although if we are attacked and...
Oh, I
just want my mace nearby.
If you... And she'll come up and she'll kind of start moving some of the daisies apart, and you'll find there's a little dagger in there. It's got a little sheath, So that's kind of what you're holding on to, and just in case,
You think of everything.
just don't let Tark use it to clean his nails. It is poisoned, so if you do stab anyone, like
Got
it
it.
won't kill them, but it won't be nice.
But don't cut the cake with it.
Don't
Yeah,
throw
it's
the bouquet.
Not got a grenade in, has it?
She starts working on a second bouquet. So
No,
you
no,
can
no,
throw
I
it.
love this. This is
No,
perfect.
no. You can walk with that one, and then this one we'll leave at the top. So when you want to throw something, you can throw something.
Okay.
I'll get some javelins if you want to throw something.
No, that's not the point. We've resolved the problem. I
Add
can hold
garlands to them.
this.
Okay.
And she will have also, like, as you've been talking, she's gone about and like kind of done a few spells and sorted out the other flowers. So at the bottom of the stairs, it's all bluebells and forget-me-nots. So it starts off like blue and quite cold colouring. It turns into snowdrops, and then daisies, and then buttercups, and daffodils, and yellow tulips. And right at the top, it's sunflowers. So it's the kind of combination of the cold colours to the warm colours.
Nice.
I'm going to whisper something to Eris, but I'll message you.
As you approach, who's performing the ceremony? Have anyone in
Tanta?
mind? Tanta?
Unless anyone else wants to do it.
Well, it can be a sort of collab between Tanta and Issachar, but it's a tribe ceremony. So
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah. Standing off to one side is Savra Bella Branta as well from the Order of the Gauntlet, the cleric of. What was she, cleric? I think she may have been a barbarian of Torm. That introduced you to Torm.
I'll still be wearing my gauntlet, which I still have. I don't have any armor, but I have a gauntlet.
Yeah, I got nothing prepared for the ceremony, so unless you've got any vows or anything that you want to.
yes, sorry. Hello, I'm not messaging Hazel.
If you need a second, I'm just gonna explain how Locke removes his current problem from the room. So at some point, when it finds the appropriate time, he will cast Time Stop. That means time will stop for everyone except him, and then he will cast Demiplane, and then shove her through this door, going into and then close the door behind him, and then write a note in his metal arm to get her out of there later, because she's just stuck there forever.
Reminder.
And then and just because he was like, well, I promised Caster wouldn't be in trouble at the wedding, so just have to remember to sort this out later, and then unfreeze time and everything carries on. Only she's gone.
Well, I like to think that no one notices except the person that would never normally notice, which is Tok, who just notices Locke's there, and then suddenly he's 3 foot to the right. And I think Tok would be like,
and this strange woman has just completely disappeared.
Yeah,
strange woman just blinked out, and Tok moved 3 feet in an instant. What?
He didn't notice that. He just noticed Locke move. He didn't notice the woman disappear.
Never has anyone gone through so much effort to avoid an ex.
Yes.
It's not just any act, it's the Black Viper, famed assassin of Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Yeah, if she's not after a friendly reunion, it's probably the best.
Well, and Locke didn't call back. Is that?
Oh, he did actually. He did send a few sendings, didn't you? I think.
Yeah, there was a few sendings back and forth, but then over the next 5 years, everything would have cooled down gradually.
Yeah, while he thought he was going to die, contact was quite easy. But then when he thought he had to go back and actually commit to something, then nope, not interested anymore.
No, I'll go marry a giant snake woman instead. Wait, no.
And then step out of that one at the last minute as well. He didn't realize what it was.
Before the ceremony starts, Threadreader, do you want to describe your thing in the chat?
Oh yes, well, I was going to do it when the vows were said.
Oh, okay, we'll do that then. So, I think a lot of things are happening during the.
Okay.
I'll do it after it's all complete then.
I assume there's some weddings are boring. There's some very boring spiel about Lathander and starting on a new journey together, and Tanta and going on another adventure together. And then they ask us whether we want to say anything.
Yeah, I asked Tanta, by the way, I did ask her to miss out the bit where we go on a 3-day hunt straight after.
Oh, that would have been cool.
Yeah, no, but we can put it off for a week if you like.
Yeah, but I'd like to do that.
But the wedding feast can't start until we've both drawn blood.
Oh, okay. So yeah, can we be flexible with it, but do that later?
I mean, Elk Tribe's dead, so yeah.
I'm trying to preserve your traditions as well. Anyway,
Okay.
if you didn't have anything to say, do you have anything to say?
Who?
You.
What do you mean?
Tanta just said if we had any vows. No, that's okay. That's okay. 1 minute. And I'll like wave over my mum, and she'll probably have a little
as-
handbag and.
As you're waving over your mum, I'll just wink at Eris. But you won't see it.
It's so hard to do surprises in this game.
I know.
I will hand you a piece of cards that was
Okay.
my mum hands to me.
Okay. Do I go first?
Yeah.
Okay. Just read it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only like 5 words.
Okay. Pock, that's me. Cass, that's you. I love you.
I couldn't have written something better myself.
There's a big ah in through the crowd, and a few chuckles.
Eric cheers.
I know you think I know you think I didn't write anything. I didn't. But I do what I did think about it, and I do want to say something else, if that makes sense. Because when Torm put me, it's hard to explain, but Torm put me back in the world, and I was just full of rage and anger, and the only thing I knew was battle. You know, peace was something that I fought for, but it was never found. But then I found you. And that was the first time I've known peace. So you were the sun on my face after a long, bitter winter. So thank you.
I thought you were just going to say what I wrote for you, and now that's going to make my bit look rubbish.
It's okay, I didn't write it.
Who wrote it?
No one wrote it. I just said it.
Oh, okay. That makes mine look even worse. I wrote mine.
Show off. That's all right. Okay, just because you can write. I can't write very well, so I just used my thinking.
Okay. She'll get out some cards that her mum probably gives her. So I didn't want to write a lot because we both find it easier to speak with actions more than words. So
Wanna
I
borrow
didn't think we'd need many.
I'll hand you the card back.
Thank you. But yeah, in everything we've been through, you've done that. You've shown how much you love me with actions. You've saved my life countless times, and I know will continue to protect both of us. And I will make a big show for the camera of everyone watching of doing like a little, oh look, Cass has got a little bump. And then I'll do Spirit Guardians, and you'll remember it. It's those little tiny flying tocs with their tiny halberds.
Awesome.
Don't really need me with those, to be honest, but I'll do my best.
I guess this is the bit where we join our hands, and
It's the rappy bit, as I
Yeah.
like to call it.
yeah,
Sansa completes, goes ahead and proceeds with the rappy bit.
Right before you spaff.
Right
This
before you spaff.
happens.
Oh, no,
Too late. Too late. That ship has sailed.
As Tanta is wrapping their hands, vines start to grow out of them. First, on Cass, it's a yellow jasmine. On Tok, it's a white wisteria, and then the vines meet and change, and they become a crimson glory, which is these autumnal colours. And if Cass and Tok turn and look back down the stairs, yellow and white flowers have changed, and now it's burnt ambers, you've got chrysanthemums, you've got nasturtiums, you've got marigolds, but it's now these rich gold and orange colours.
Nice.
Colours of autumn,
Beautiful.
meeting of the two.
I think Tuck out the corner of his mouth will be like, I really hope Eris did that.
Eris catches your eye, she's like,
Yeah, so the rap.
It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah. The rappy bit completes. Anything else happen?
So once the wrapping's complete and the hand of master go, you hear Tony just mutter something to the kids, the three kids, and ushers them down the other end of the aisle, and Velin follows. And then we start the kids. He starts orchestrating the children to do something. They go through some motions, and they start popping out lights out of their hands, like dancing lights. And so Threadreader's sort of like conducting an orchestra, helping the kids go through the motions of casting the spell, while Velin is summoning water, and with a wink to Eris. Eris, if Eris can sort of shape the water to hold in like a bowl, like a large bowl shape, like a sludge block, and it's slowly building up and building up. And then as the kids are creating these lights, they start spinning round and round and round and get brighter and brighter and brighter. And then Threadreader turns around and starts incanting something of his own, and the temperature at the back of the room drops. And you see the edges of the ice, the edges of the water start to freeze and then move just as the dancing lights get brighter and brighter, and sort of blue and yellow light. And then they get so bright you can't really see what's going on at the end. And then they sort of they lower in intensity, and you can see at the end that the symbol you had on the back of the invite of the sun and the antlers running through it is solid in a large ice sculpture, and inside the ice sculpture are the lights still remaining inside that the children have created, and just holding and lighting up the ice sculpture at the end of the procession. And I sort of say, well done, and then the kids will run back to their seats.
I think Tuck will be like, his jaw will be open, he'll be gawping. all the flowers, the ice sculptures. It's just a bit overwhelming.
We
We
This is
know
why I didn't want to do a
people.
full ceremony, because even this is low key Waterdeep.
Yeah.
Oh,
You'll see a look of panic on Eris's face at the idea that this is like maybe not what Waterdeep would expect, and like, oh, she's starting making plans. This will go terribly.
I love it.
You hear a little voice from 2 or 3 rows back in the front. So, is the bar open? You see the top of a little green goblin head.
Troll's Skull Tavern is open to all of you. Drinks are on us.
I think we're wasting time. Young Snitch leads the procession back to Troll Skull.
I do have an update from Jim for what his characters would do. They would be in attendance. Snitch would have moved from Karklock to somewhere warmer. And this is the bit I enjoy, but still does crime for fun.
I like the idea that he sells knockoff Hawaiian shirts.
Crime's just
That's
sport.
canon now.
Yeah.
Crime is just a sport in Goblin Society. It's not bad. It's just a sport.
But every time I
Some
see
people are
Snitch, I
good
have
at
a
it.
chat with him.
Some people are good at it, some people aren't.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I don't do it. I'm not good at it.
You killed so
I'm-
many people.
I'm good at violent crime. That's
It's
true.
not necessarily a crime when there's a bounty on them, when they have broken a law, and
Or when they looked at him funny.
Well, it depends on how you understand criminality as to whether it's a moral or a legal obligation.
can we say this away from the Open Lord of Waterdeep?
Whatever that was, yes, I agree with you, Eris. Sounded fancy and therefore is probably right.
Red Reader's making you really smart. Well, before, and you were already smart.
But now I read books and such.
Yes. Yes.
Books and such.
Love it.
Also, Herd would have moved to Waterdeep to be near his youngest children, but occasionally wanders off to track down the tribe he was abducted from, but largely considers himself retired.
Oh,
He deserves
Nice.
it. He took one hell of a beating from the young.
How
I
many?
imagine-
Yeah. How many more times has he died since then? Been
Didn't
brought back.
mention.
he would probably take over patrol of the cemetery of Waterdeep if he retires there, taking over from Sir Ambrose Everdorn, who has in this time sadly passed on.
Oh.
So
He was getting on.
Ellenvor
So-
smoothed his passage though. So
it did
fine.
smooth his passage. So Herd is now the old guy in B&Q that knows where all the stuff is. So that's what
When
Herd's
I
doing.
see him at the wedding, I can see him and Floon and Volo
Oh
getting very drunk together. And the other two are chatty and annoying, but he's just there. He doesn't say a word.
yeah.
He's Ron Swanson.
Yeah, Ron Swanson.
Is there a barbecue? Is that
Boom Swanson.
A barbecue in the snow, absolutely. That sounds right on theme.
I agree. This is perfect barbecue weather now. It was far too hot before. This is when we throw a elk steak on the barbie.
Was it? I think Eris is now. old
Angered
enough
your
to
looks
go.
concerned.
No, not you.
Don't you worry. He will not go anywhere near you. And if he gets that look in his eye, you let me know, and I'll turn him into a dung beetle. Oh no, maybe not. Cass will be angry at me on their wedding day.
Where's my husband? Oh,
Plus, it's concentration, so as soon as you do, there's a sperm whale in the church.
But it
No
could
pro-
still be fun to turn him into a snow weasel. That might be another day.
I've always fancied a snow weasel as a pet. I don't know why.
Just for
Really,
punting.
really appeal.
No.
No, really
Snow
appeals to
weasels.
me.
No, snow weasels. My eye
Yes.
starts twitching.
Vile
They're so
creatures.
cute. Have you seen one? They are so cute.
I'm
You can train them to like.
allergic.
Oh, that's a shame.
I just hate them.
Thought you were a druid. I thought you loved all of nature's wonderful things.
No. Some things are just unnatural.
You just
Mid-ceremony, a frog starts leaping up the
like.
stairs.
I think if all of you saw one, you would change your mind. So when we go north next, we'll find one. I'll show you. They're adorable.
So the ceremony concludes, and you retire to Trollskull Manor via the Yawning Portal and numerous other taverns through the city. Big old party. Anybody want to conclude anything else, or should we skip maybe 20 years in the future if anyone wants to sort of say what they do longer term?
Sure, yeah.
Or leave it there. It's no problem.
I do think at some point in the wedding, Eris will have got drunk. She is now old enough to drink. So you'll just have a very drunken Eris just going around, like generally being really happy. But if anyone like gets on her nerves, so there's someone who like gives Cass like the side eye, and she just starts telling this person, you know, the stars are watching you, and just being a bit belligerent.
I like to think that. Sorry, go on.
So just until Fred Reader's like shoos me away so I can have like a quiet 5 minutes and calm down.
I like to think you didn't get drunk intentionally, because
no.
Fred Reader would have been watching you. It's just accidentally from incessantly eating your newly discovered favorite ice cream flavor, rum and raisin. It's
And
made
then
with
there's
real
just too
rum.
many like flower themed cocktails, and it tastes like juice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must admit, like when you're making cocktails, cooling it down really makes a good difference. That ice machine thing that Gon made for us, brilliant. But yeah, alcohol in the ice cream. Bonnie thought of that one, wasn't me.
Bonnie is an entrepreneur, and I don't know how we can still.
I think she's.
You think she's a what?
What? Is she a changeling? She's not an entrepreneur. I don't even know where they come from. Are they from like Chult?
Dead natural evil.
Makes sense.
You probably would have seen Renashi and Ganashi during the course of the day as well.
Nice.
Nashi, the big female cow minotaur.
Yeah, I forgot.
Is banned from using the bathroom.
And Renashi, strangely, with his, he's got a little paunch now, little beer belly, not beer belly, but middle-aged spread, and he's got like 7 or 8 kind of furry cubs crawling all over him, with his wife not in tow. He's actually in tow of his wife. He's following instruction and says he makes his apologies, can't stay long, he needs to get the little cubs down and retreats early.
We tell him to rap before he spaffs next time.
That's not like him to turn down a party, is it?
I feel really sorry for him.
Yeah, I mean, the 7 kids, in fairness, are probably 1 litter, so.
Oh. So, I mean, I'm going to have to stop. Are we going to have to stop going on adventures?
No,
And
have you seen?
go home
like,
early from
papoose?
parties?
So I can like.
Is that like an elk?
Put them. No, it's like where you carry them. Actually, you should probably carry them. You're stronger than me, but you'll get more involved. We'll put a boarding bond on them. It'll be fine.
I'm not carrying a moose.
No. A it's
I mean,
forget
I
that.
could, but I don't. All right, I will then. You don't believe I can carry a moose? I'm going to
I
do
do
it.
believe you can carry a moose. Our kid is not a
Eris,
moose.
Eris, turn Angajok into a moose.
You
Okay.
carry one, it would just
You
slow your
might-
halberd arm down.
Or I can't carry it and use a halberd. That's to be fair.
But if you have a moose, you could ride it and carry the halberd. Moose are big. They're even bigger than the elk.
Well, I know, but Cass doesn't believe I could carry a moose.
I do think you can carry a moose.
I don't think you could do it comfortably, but you could do it.
Oh no, it
And-
would be
And
horrendous.
a moose is like smaller, and it's got like a bill and a weird tail, and if it bites people, it's venomous.
Wow, they sound weird.
But easy to carry.
Are they from Chult as well?
I don't really know. I've only heard of them. I've not seen one. I'd love to see one.
Yeah,
Why
maybe
don't
that.
Moose.
Maybe that's what entrepreneurs ride into battle.
We're not getting a moose.
Moose.
Well-
But the
As far as you know.
Well, I didn't want to spoil the surprise, but I have that cabin I said I would build. It's ready on the lake in the north, and there is a lot of reindeer and moose there, so you will see some. I'm not going to adopt them though; they smell.
if
No.
it's multiple moose, is it meese?
Probably mooses.
Moose eye?
That's
Meese eye.
right.
It's meeses.
Yeah, meeses.
Meesicles.
I feel like I should model the cabin screen.
Oh yeah, that wasn't a plug, but yeah, that's what it looks like.
Fell over.
And Tok built the doors too low
Yeah, he did.
for himself. So it's probably even worse for Threadry. The ceilings are high enough, but the doors are not.
What a terrible idea. We could have died, but we made this before.
I made that before. Alternative multiverse thing.
Nick, have you seen this?
I don't know that I have.
You're not
What are we
on
looking
Twitch, are you?
No,
No, but he's on the
I can be.
OBS. Aren't you?
It's-
You see our
I'll
cameras,
just leave
can't
this
you?
Yeah.
up for a while whilst
No,
people...
I can't.
It's a little
Okay.
cabin by the woods,
I'm
and
saying
that
this,
look,
but I'll
that is
I'll get
that's
in.
the outdoor winter barbecue
Take
there.
a photo of it.
That is an outdoor winter barbecue. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
So what does the future hold for the individual members of the Breakfast Club? If
I
anything.
think
Retire quietly or
Oh,
we
I
have
can
a
see
little
it now.
kid
Cass,
called
thank you.
Autumn.
Yeah.
She's what? A quarter elf, a quarter human, and half dragon.
Well, I think she kind of looks like as she gets older, she looks pretty much like Cass, but she's got some very small horns and some sort of scaly areas
Eczema.
that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But sort of like
Gets
red
acne. She gets
and white patches of scales, but like quite fiery and icy looking. But she mostly looks like a half elf with like a half elf tiefling, I guess. And I think we always said like we didn't want her to be an adventurer, but she's more stubborn than both of us put together. So she probably she's
second
probably always
campaign idea.
yeah, probably a ranger or a paladin maybe.
I think she's a paladin.
Mm,
That feels appropriate.
yeah,
Mm,
religious parents and all that.
yeah.
Indoctrination, you know, it's what you get brought up
That's
with.
not necessarily religion. They just need an oath, don't they?
Mm.
Paladins.
Vow not to be as boring as my parents who just stay home and do jigsaws.
Yeah, I think Tok would probably like say that he just stays home and does jigsaws, but then we'll like sneak out and go on little adventures, but only short ones. It was just a short one this
Yeah.
time. It was only mild
Rescue-
peril.
Rescue a cat out of the tree and stuff.
Yeah, by
Not the
cutting it
local
down.
village.
Oh yeah, I think
Uh,
life will be quite peaceful.
Eris and Threadreader, continue your study.
Yeah, and I think we did keep popping up to visit Belen and study Sunken City with her, and but probably be a bit guarded about how much gets back to Candlekeep, so that it doesn't end up littered and full of. We don't want it getting out there, do we? So sort of agree of very carefully releasing bits of information back to Candlekeep, and then when we spoke about going on other little sojourns into the other places in the world, looking for other Netherese artifacts and bits of archaeology.
Cool.
I think along with that, when Autumn turns 18,
Oh,
I
Eris will be
would-
a grown up.
I'm a grown up already. I've hit 20 at the wedding.
Yeah.
At least I'm probably more like 22, 23 at that point. But by the point Autumn is 18, Eris will be old for a goblin. I can't remember the exact age, but they don't live very long, do they? About 40 years?
Mm.
Yeah, I think like
Probably
30, 40
something like that.
years, depending on how dangerous your life is.
So she's had the crown of timeless body, and she's worn it every now and then, special occasions, various things. So it's extended her life slightly, but she doesn't want to go against nature. But she will gift that to Autumn. With a warning, nature is still nature, things still need to happen, but if there's a need for it, she can have it. Whether that's another day with her mom, another day where her mom can spend a day with her father, use it as she sees fit. And then other than that, I think Eris is going to teach botany at the school. I think that's going to be the thing. And for all of the normal size students, they're going to have to come into her little forest hut that has expanded slightly, but that just means that there's various hinge bits of roof for those who are on the taller side.
She's like a reverse Hagrid.
Yeah. And then I think she's going to try, and I think she's gonna kind of try and get a bit of a, like, people are gonna consider her a hag, but she's gonna try and change the general kind of understanding of a hag. She wants to be more helpful, but
A
she's
white
still a
witch.
goblin, and but she's awkward and she's a bit weird, and she's just constantly wearing dungarees. It doesn't really like, and if you see like Fred Reader has like nice, I always imagine he's got like scarves. So I imagine that his mum makes them for him. If that's not completely out of it. And I imagine that she's got sets of dungarees that will match some of his scarves that his mum has made. And so she doesn't quite fit the standard kind of thing of like a wise woman. She's just a bit weird. So she's just kind of taken it, like reclaiming the hag status
Oh, cool.
with her weird little hut. Students who just think she's strange but oddly knowledgeable. And yeah, she's going to grow old, and when she passes, and everyone is sorting through her house, they will find a book she has written, which will be The Adventures. And then there'll be a little leaflet that goes with it that is the stars. So there'll be the adventures of the time that she spent with her family. And then there'll be another little how-to guide of using the stars, navigations for tocs. And it will make no sense to anyone else. But there'll be like a little page that explains like how to use the stars for guidance, how to tell time.
Like an idiot's guide.
Yeah, and
The barbarian's guide to.
It's all like illustrations. There's like no words. other than every now and then there'll just be an arrow pointing to something going, this is a star. And so the book of the adventures will have like the subtitle will be books and such, and that is she's read that for Frederica.
I think when Eris does pass, that would be the end of Threadreader's adventures. He wouldn't see the point in travelling around and he'd just stay in the library, stay in Candlekeep, probably add on a little hut next to the little hut, and live in and try and look after the little forest till he got old too, and retire there.
Threadreader doesn't leave, but he's still visited once a year by Felin, who helps him write numerous scholarly tomes on the findings of Ithrin, and added to the prestigious halls of Candlekeep for future students.
Nice.
Can I add a little?
Yeah, I want to
thought
add
into
something
there?
too.
Yeah.
I like the idea that Cass's mum, who was a librarian, well, she
Oh, yeah.
translated Elvish into Common, but was a librarian essentially at the Library of Ogma, something.
Denia.
Thank you. Maybe goes and works at Candlekeep because they have a library, and keeps an eye on Eris, and maybe asks Threadreader on a date.
Ooh.
Well, hey.
Fade to black. That's why he doesn't go.
Fade to black.
That's why he doesn't go traveling anymore.
I was just thinking about what Eris was saying about, when Autumn gets to 18, by that point, Tok would be nearly 60. And I think he'd still be quite big and strong and hardy, but he would start to slow down, and he would start to, well, he's already a white dragonborn, but yeah, he would definitely start to change colour, and the blue areas would start to turn grey. And I think Eris would, if Eris visited, she would find that Tok starts to grow, even in the north, starts to grow vegetables and starts to grow flowers, and sort of no longer has to go out and fight. He occasionally gets called, but there's younger, stronger heroes to take his place. I think he would always say to Cass, because to him she would still look the same. She wouldn't age. She would be like frozen in time for him. I think he would, he would explain to her, probably as he gets older and a bit forgetful, he'd probably explain it several times that he won't be there forever, but Torm has made it clear if she ever needs him, she can bring him back for a short time.
You've got decades left in you. Now go chop some firewood and bring home.
Okay. Yes, dear. Or should I just go?
What does Locke do, if anything? Don't have to have anything prepared. But...
I do, yeah. Is it 20 years or so?
Yeah, well, but you specify, or the rest of your life, or
Cool.
whatever.
Locke's letters, as per usual, with Locke, will read as if he's giving you information that he's never given you. Like he's just assuming you know things that you don't, but they'll mostly make sense. So over the next
Is he Locke-splaining?
He's kind of no, he's kind of not remembering what information he's put in the previous letter, so he's just assuming you know things. So yeah, Locke-splaining. Yes, in one of the letters at some point he'll say got blind. So it'll be like a different handwriting on it. Gone blind, sorry. So we'll have different handwriting on it and stuff. And later it'll say, I found a hand in a different letter. And then a few months later, that hand was cursed and he tried to kill me, so I had to remove it, but not all of it. So now I'm left with more hand than before, but not a full hand. Later on, there'll be another letter saying, not blind anymore, solved that problem, but now I owe someone the soul of a virgin dwarf born during the winter solstice. And then a few months later, you'll receive a sad letter saying that Locke has died, unfortunately. It will be from one of his spies. And then a week later, you'll receive a letter saying, actually, I'm not dead. I just needed to die to get out of some trouble.
It's my new name.
But eventually, you'll receive a letter saying that he found the hag to whom he owed a virgin dwarf born during the winter solstice. And after killing her, ended up adopting a young dragonborn that she had as a prisoner, and saying that he reminds him of Tok. He's very angry and he's been burning up his place. But the next 10 to 15 years are going to be kind of the most peaceful you will have seen Locke. He'll visit sometimes his young dragonborn, and he's assumed kind of a he's become a father figure to the little dragonborn, and yeah, initially he's training him to become a spy, but then he decides to put him in a different direction, and we'll probably send him over to study some actual magic rather than sorcerer nonsense with Redir and Eris. And yeah, Locke will continue to visit, continue to run his organization. Eventually, he'll find a successor and try to live a quiet life for about 6 years before he jumps back into action. And a few years later, you'll find you receive a letter where it's true that he's actually passed away fighting in some grandiose heroic deed. But his legacy lives on, and he will have left you with details of his operation if you ever wish to get involved and take over. But you'll never know whether he's actually died or this is just another
another persona change.
another persona change, or he just needed to die for a bit.
At some point, whilst reciting one of Locke's letters back to Tok, I'll just sort of say, "Do you think we should move?" Because I never know if he's asking for help or when he's going to show up.
Or if he's already showed up and we didn't know it was him.
I mean, because there's no TV, this is like Days of Our Lives, these letters, and you look forward to these letters. It's the best entertainment ever. It's not Days of Our Lives, it's Locke's letters. Come on, another episode, and they sit down around in the living room, read one of Locke's letters. We left it on a real cliffhanger.
If you're doing all the exciting things, we could just live vicariously.
I will say at some point all the letters will say, I did remember to get the Viper out of the hemiplane.
A year later.
That's about 15 years later.
Yeah, about a couple of weeks later, you'll remember.
Forgotten about language.
Dear Locke, your enemies keep finding us.
Don't worry, we keep killing them.
At some point when Locke is on the run from someone, an owl that he'll recognise as Eris's the one that comes from Eris's little figure, swoops in and hands, kind of just gives him a conch. And with it is just a note saying, "Stop getting yourself in trouble." And it's going to be the conch of teleportation, so that when he gets catched, he can just zip on out.
Oh,
Cool.
that's nice.
There will also be somewhere in the back of the florist, behind a wall covered in ivy and poison ivy at that, just so people don't go messing with it. There will be a map with just little dots, which will mean nothing to anyone except for if you get Locke's letters, it's Eris kind of keeping track of where he is in case he needs help.
Oh, that's amazing.
Sometimes you find some really cool rabbits or something. They chew you out of if you've been tied up or and stuff like that, and it just chew.
Very convenient animal help.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
So,
I also
Go on.
I like the idea that Autumn does not believe that either of her parents saved Icewind Dale or any of that, or perhaps Tok doesn't even talk about it, but she probably thinks it's all just stories to entertain her as a child. And then she gets a bit older and she starts reading. It's like, oh, it was real. And that's when she wants to start looking at being an adventurer.
And we have to let her go make those mistakes.
Yeah. Yeah, we want to vet all your adventuring parties, though. We need to check them out and make sure that they're suitable.
I wonder if
She's
one
been
summer-
dating for years. Like,
I'm not worried about dating. She can take care of herself, but adventuring parties,
Serious stuff.
serious.
I wonder if one summer, Fred Reader and Eris are able to convince you to let her come and stay with us for just 2 weeks, and like we return in like a
Like we
month
could
later.
stop her.
Well, no, this is probably when she's like 12 or 13. This,
Oh, okay.
This is too
oh no, you can have
Uh,
her because by that point, I assume we're going mad, because we're not doing anything.
Yeah.
and,
What were we
I-
thinking? We should have died in battle by now.
She'll never grow up to be an adventurer without a backstory.
All right, I'll go get killed in the tundra so she can avenge me.
that would work.
Tok stops her from becoming an adventurer by shooting in the knee with an arrow. That's cool. Go on.
Jim sent me 20 years in the future for Snitch and Herd.
Oh, nice.
Snitch would have died because goblin lifespans aren't that long. Pretty old.
Fair.
Is that the whole? Is that the whole of it?
Herd would have probably found his tribe. Yep.
This would have died because his lifespan is short. The end.
But he still had died with that regret of not being able to launch himself from a giant crossbow.
I know. Yeah. Even I thought it was a bad idea.
Herd would have found his tribe, met a nice furbog lady, had another kid who was actually present dad for, and combined his dream of owning a town with his gravekeeper job by opening a pop-up bar on the edge of the cemetery called Final Call.
Oh, nice.
That's pretty nice. I imagine all his children that he was absent for, they would be very bitter and would want revenge.
All be adventurers.
Yeah.
Cool. So I think that probably wraps it up. But if there's any loose threads that you didn't have resolved or you wondered what was behind anything, then by all means you can ask any questions on the campaign or anything that we started but didn't manage to follow through.
One day, can we come back a bit leveled up and kill a white dragon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Do we even need to level up to do
I
that?
don't even think you need to level up.
I still have the comet scroll.
That is true.
You can just find out where the dragon is and drop a comet on its head.
Yeah.
Well, that was an anticlimax. All lined up and it's like, oh, just a big gecko, really?
The barbecue, anyone want barbecue dragon?
Yeah. I've got a barbecue at home. We can have a dragon barbecue steaks that are quite good, actually. Oh,
Isn't
I
it
don't know.
cannibalism for you?
Good point.
Well,
No.
I'm probably
same
no
species.
closer to. I'm probably no closer to a dragon than humans are to
It's all right.
pigs or cows.
The elk tribe were always cannibals.
That's a tiger tribe.
And tell us.
It was always the plan. Oh, very good. Well, as the culmination of what did we say, 3, almost 4 year
20
I
was
I
beginning
think
of
combined
2020, so if it's beginning
campaign.
of 2024, then that's 2.5? No, 3.5.
3.5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've been playing for 2.5 years.
We have had a couple of big breaks in and amongst it as well, as we've took some breaks, but still, it's still a long time to commit out of your lives, your personal lives. So from me, just a big thanks for playing and putting so much into it. It's made it what it is and what it was because of you all. So thanks very much. And it was brilliant to be able to finish 2 campaigns. I would say we finished 2 campaigns as well, and to do them back to back. Amazing. And I've loved it. I've loved all of it. So thanks very much. I hope we can play again. And I know there's loads of other campaigns we've got and projects we've got cooking up. So
Thank you for such a wonderful
looking forward.
story. I mean, this was the first one that I played with everybody, I think. And really, it's sort of changed massively for me. And sort of a big group of friends that, mean a lot to me. So, yeah, amazing. It's a lot involved in this story and this character. So, thank you very much for a wonderful, wonderful few years.
Yeah, you've all made it. It's emotional.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, it is. It's weird to say goodbye to the characters and think about how their lives may extend or even end in some cases. It's but it's nice that they got their happy endings to a degree.
They did get them. It's a special campaign to me. It's not necessarily where I first played with Hazel or Tom or Jim, but because it's where it started. It was the first
together as well.
Game.
This was the first game I had with Tom.
And this is the party that has been together long enough to actually seem to function and like each other.
Yeah, there's a real good dynamic between all the players in the party, which really made it, I think.
Yeah, I just wanted to say thank you, Steve. This was the first campaign we played, and I started playing in this campaign, and then I got half of my group for my long 2-year Theros campaign from this group.
Yeah.
And then over like 4 years, my character's changed quite a few times. So thank you for letting me try different things.
Yeah,
when I was getting frustrated, and let me try an as outrageous a character as Neven/Lux, plus whatever his name was.
Neven,
and I've had a lot of transitions in my life over the last 4 years. It was good to keep coming back to this and coming back to this suit of luck and developing him, and then being good and evil, and then trying to be good again. And it was really cool. And it was both of those campaigns I thought were really meticulously put together by you. The presentation was, especially in Aspen Gale, the presentation was really great. Thank you.
No, thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're a brilliant storyteller, Steve, and that's the nicest thing I'll say to you all year.
Okay. But no, it's true though. I mean, one person doesn't tell it; we all tell it. So it's a collective effort. So it's really. I played a few games before I found this group, or before I put that post out on Facebook. And the reason I put that post out on Facebook, and as me being the DM, because I tried to be a player, and most people probably been in the same boat at some point, try to find a game and you just can't gel with the people, the players. And it's not that they're wrong or playing the game wrong, it just doesn't fit with the game that or the play style that I want to play. And so trying to find the people that have got the sort of same play style or mindset. Yeah. It's quite difficult. So we've dropped lucky, I would say. So yeah, good stuff.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, it has been good, and this is a group, I think, and especially with Steve, I can think of so many quite deep role playing moments that you were always good at sort of picking up on. You always seem to just have exactly the right music to play at exactly the right time to enhance the emotion of a moment or whatever. So yeah, it is the first group where I think the role play started to almost exceed the combat side of things, if that makes sense. So it became as much about the characters as it did about the game, and I think that taught me that that's the kind of RPGs that I like.
Yeah, and next on the list, I mean, it's not the end, it's the end of this particular campaign, but because, as was just mentioned, we've found the right group, I think it's safe to say. So we've got...
Well, does this not
Matt,
mean that we can get rid of you now?
you can try, you won't succeed.
We all know that it's Steve that can't get rid of us. So.
We're going on holiday too, Steve, next week.
He's tried.
And I wasn't even invited.
You weren't.
I know.
It's you going, no, I'm not going to join. We're like, well, we'll come to you then.
Yeah.
More of a threat than anything else.
I have your address.
Yeah. Shit.
No way.
So, future projects.
Sound terrifying.
Out of the Abyss with Matt. It's been going ages already. Jump on it. More to come. Curse of Strahd with V. Near the end now, I think.
Yep.
Future projects and one-shots. And when we say one-shots, we mean 4 or 5 shots.
Up to
Blades
8.
in the Dark with Nick. Call of Cthulhu with Jim. Unnamed Project, Hazel, Unnamed Project, Tom, maybe, no pressure. And maybe something from me again in the future. So loads, even though this is the end, loads and loads of stuff still coming up. We're
Next
open
one,
to...
Vampire the Masquerade. The next.
Oh, of course, how did I miss that? Vampire, yeah. One shot. Really looking forward to that one as a player.
Yeah, very much.
Yeah, one shot.
Did we say we'd set aside at least 8 weeks for that?
4 weeks for a one shot, sure.
Matt, can we just have one more?
So
5 weeks. Are you negotiating how many weeks?
Yeah, like you said, the first one booked in as a 0. That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't. So that it does become 5, and then I think because we have got a weekend in March where I'm in London for stuff, so there might be another week where we can't play. So we'll put aside 2 months for it.
Okay.
If that happens to cover 9 weeks,
And that's like, okay. I'm not going to argue. It's pointless.
we'll make it. If you need our RP to like just push it into the next week,
We'll find you.
I think the next one shot is going to introduce you all to a lot of things in the World of Darkness that you probably aren't even aware of.
Brilliant.
So
I know nothing of it.
It'll be interesting to see how it goes because there's quite a lot of players. But I think if anything can cope with it, it's Vampire. So it'll be good. It'll be good. How's everyone feeling about the tonight? I was watching everyone's faces quite through pretty much all of it and just seeing the reactions and genuine like happiness and emotion and joy. So, and I can't see Nick's face, but I'm assuming, Locke, his portrait looks quite happy, so I'm just assuming Nick was quite happy too.
Yes. No, I've had a wonderful time doing this. It was nice to have a farewell session.
Bit of closure. I mean, because these games are therapy anyway. Yeah.
What was
these games.
I thought it'd be sad saying goodbye, but it was really. I smiled throughout the whole thing, pretty much.
Yeah. It was. It wasn't sad at all, was it?
It was emotional bits. I did have a tear every now and then, but it wasn't a sad tear.
No.
Yeah.
Very wholesome.
And sorry to Veronica because
die first.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going to die first. I'm dead.
Beat you.
I was like, I didn't think that. You started giving away the crown to us. I was like, don't do that. I forgot they're only short-lived. I don't want Eris to die. What's Fenrir going to do?
Do some magic. Turn her into something that lives longer. Come on, someone sort it.
Do some magic and glue the crown to her head.
All right. Want that. What
And
is
sorry to
that?
Veronica for ruining the plan, because I know you were like, oh, I'm just going to give Tok the card with that on, because he's not going to prepare vows. That was a complete lie.
The vows are the best.
They were very sweet.
Talk.
I know.
That's me.
That's me.
I was like, yeah, when you said about
Yeah.
doing that, I was like, yeah, that is genius. And I'm guessing no one else knew that was the plan because the reactions were
No.
I kept the whole wedding a secret.
really.
Yeah.
It's lucky I didn't say anything then, isn't it? Actually, I didn't know a lot of it, did I?
You
When
did
she,
Yeah,
message
that's what we're
me.
doing.
when she give you the note, I was just nearly message Cass saying, "You sure you want to do it? It's give me the vows."
We've been talking about this so long, and you did message me like this morning saying, "What were we gonna do at the wedding?"
I forgot to describe the bachelor party Neven would have, or stag do that Neven would have thrown.
Oh yeah.
Look,
Oh my.
but I think we'll just that'll be that would be good for the Twitch.
We could do a
Might get
hangover style
banned.
one shot one time.
I think that
Do
would
a
have
one
been
shot of the stag do.
Elk Tribe stag do's are like a week long, and
Well, elk tribe stag do's are elk do's.
yeah,
Can Eris play anger jerk?
Very pissed off Ankerchuk. Don't know where we ended up.
And then it became that
Wow.
popular saying in Waterdeep, pissed as an elk. It's canon.
and everyone in
Yeah,
the
they did
docks
piss
saw a
them away.
weird elk trying to swim badly.
Big old whale that washes up and vomits ambergris all over the water deep.
It's worth money, that
I-
is.
Fortune.
A goblin swimming in the sea with a massive whale, and they're just singing together.
Oh,
Oh yeah, like Eris would go full whale song, but it's like a proper like drunken whale song.
Right, I guess that's a wrap then.
yeah.
It
Let's wrap
is.
up the stream and talk about what on earth's going on.
Yeah,
Next.
what's next? It's so many projects to organise.
Are we doing the wave that you all hate so much, or are we just saying goodbye? We're doing the wave.
Bye-bye.
Come on, V, do the
Bye-bye.
wave.
Bye.
See if you
Bye-bye.
can do it both hands.
Bye.
No.